Hello, hello, and good morning. Awesome. Well, hello and good morning, everyone. I know I don't have to tell you twice. It has been cold outside, and we're going to talk about it along with the snow totals that I have been receiving as well. It's been a fun weekend for sure. All right, let's get into it. Right now, gorgeous out there. You can't really tell it's windy from our Hunter Subaru Skycam network, but just clear skies out there at Whiteside Mountain and a little bit of a snow covered slope as well. You can see that snow on the houses. Yeah, it's a fun weekend. And guess what? Everyone is participating in winter. We have to talk about it. All the way down in Miami, they hit their record coldest temperature within at least the last 15 years. They were at about 35 degrees this morning. Here in Asheville, we're at 12 degrees. It's currently 10:26 in the morning when I'm recording this. And yep, we're going to continue to get that cool air. One thing I want to note that I think is really cool, we are colder than Cincinnati, Ohio, and also Washington, D.C. Same temperature as Boston at the moment, but you can see that polar air start to funnel in. That's going to be something that's going to continue throughout the day today. We have highs in the lower 20s here in Asheville, so we're below freezing. And that means that the snow that we've seen is going to stick on the ground. So if you are excited for another snow day, today is your day. I know not everyone is, but look at this. No matter where you go, it looks like a postcard out there. Even in Brevard, you've got those snow-covered streets. It looks like they plowed around there too on the weekend, doing a great job there. In Waynesville, we've got snow-covered as well. Wow, taking a zoom in on the mountains. How cool is that? Wow, even in Asheville, snow on the ground. And with Asheville, what's so cool is we haven't had a 2 inch or greater snowfall in more than 4 years. So it was about time. Alrighty, so taking a closer look at our recorded lows this morning, we had a recorded low of 8 degrees. The last time we had an 8-degree low was on January 27th. So we're pretty close to, just a few days ago, but we almost broke that record. We were very, very close. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated as we continue to get this cold air even into tomorrow. It is February 1st, but yeah, January really showed up on the last day. On our radar and satellite currently, you can see that we do have some clouds that surround the mountains. Earlier this morning around Burnsville on one of our cameras, I saw some flurries, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had some upslope flow snow. That just means that we get winds from the northwest and it gets really cold, squeezes out all the moisture, and we get a chance for just some extra flakes there at our highest elevations along the North Carolina and Tennessee state line. But look at these temperatures, still just teens and single digits for many. As we get toward the foothills, that's where we have the 20s. So if you want to go warmer, that's where you go. And we still have an extreme cold warning in place. This is until 1 p.m. It expired for the upstate, but you can see, especially here in the mountains, we're still getting these colder temperatures, and that chance for negative wind chills is still possible. Wind is going to be a big factor throughout the day today. And those wind chills already, seeing those negatives, that means it feels colder than the temperatures that we're currently getting. Of course, in Asheville, it feels like 8 degrees below zero. And when I was outside just a second ago, I just wanted to bundle up and go inside, put on some extra layers, and really just snuggle up. It's just one of those days where we're getting these cold temperatures that make you just want to stay inside all day. But it is really beautiful with those sunny skies outside. Morganton feels like 22, Newfound Gap. Other side there, you've got 13 degrees below zero. A bit of a difference throughout the mountains, especially as these winds make their way through the area. We have a bunch of different microclimates within our region, and that is because of the mountains and the topography. So, of course, the wind hits everywhere a little bit differently, and we get these different temperatures and feels like temperatures throughout the area. Here's that wind advisory. It's for Avery, Mitchell, Yancey, McDowell, Buncombe, Henderson, and even Rutherford and Polk. You can see that there's some areas that are just like halves of counties as well. There's a chance for these winds to keep on gusting, especially if you are residing in those higher elevations, just something to be aware of. There is a chance for power outages, and early this morning we were tracking power outages in Henderson County. And this is one of those communities that got really affected by the ice storm that we had last weekend. So if you are one of those areas, you just want to be a little extra cautious today as well. And yes, once again, till 1 p.m. for these areas, it could be a chance for those downed trees, tree limbs. This could lead to power outages, power lines as well. And we could have a chance for some blowing snow. That snow that we have, I don't know if you've noticed, it's very light and fluffy. It hasn't been too good for making a snowman. It takes a little extra work if you want to pack in and make a snowball. But for snow angels and also sledding, skiing, you've got the perfect snow out there. And with that, and of course me talking about blowing snow, let's take a look at these gusts. Yep, they are blowing, that is for sure. Around 10:30 a.m., sitting there around the 30s for Asheville and even Hendersonville. It is going to continue to be consistently gusty throughout the day today, so make sure to keep your things inside. Of course, wouldn't want to keep them outside anyway if it was cold and windy. As we head into the afternoon hours, still consistently gusty for Asheville, Hendersonville, into Newland as well. Northerly winds, that means that we're going to get some more of this cold air on the way. That's why our high temperatures are going to be so limited throughout the day today. This is some of our coldest air of the season. And let's take a look at our winter radar. I know we had our big snow yesterday. It was so cool, and yeah, it was great here in Asheville. We got a lot of snow, but I know not everyone's excited about the snow, but luckily it was on the weekend, and that way it didn't affect commute and travel times too much. One of our anchors, though, did say that it took him an hour to get here to the station when it usually takes about 20 minutes. So most of that snowfall has left the area. Could be a few flakes there for around the beaches. Snow in the beach, how cool is that? But as we head into the afternoon, going to see this low pressure system pull away. And for most of the area, we've got those clear skies, really looking nice out there. Once again, only problem is we do have these very, very cold temperatures, especially here in the mountains. But yep, we're seeing the sunshine right now. And let's talk about snow reports, because there were a lot. In Faust, 17 inches of snow. Now, of course, here in the mountains, it does vary by elevation. It is a lot easier to get snow at those higher elevations because it's much colder and they get a bit of the moisture first as it rises up the mountain. Silva, 11 inches. Highlands, 10 inches. Man, it really was a snow day, and we still have that snow sitting on the ground. Rosman at 8 inches, Candler 8 as well. And we had some records around the Carolinas, especially for our forecast region. Of course, National Weather Service, Greenville, Spartanburg, forecast for Asheville, also around Greer, which is Greenville and Spartanburg, around there, and also Charlotte. So two of those areas actually had records. Not here in Asheville, though. Of course, we used to have a lot of snowfalls, but now it's a little bit more occasional. For GSP, yesterday, 4 inches. That is way past that old record that was set more than 100 years ago. Look at that, 3-inch difference. And for Charlotte, way different story there. 11 inches, and the old record was 9/10 of an inch in 1948. So very big day for Charlotte. I know if any of you have friends or family in Charlotte, They really did have a true snow day. So did us here in the mountains. And I want to show you those snow totals from Saturday that I was able to get from the National Weather Service so you can see kind of around the region what we got. Places like the Asheville Airport and also the National Weather Service Greenville-Spartanburg, 4 inches for both, but in the mountains, of course, much higher, and all around the region, much higher. The airport specifically sits further towards South Asheville and Fletcher, so that's why it kind of saw less than a lot of the other cities and towns in the area. Charlotte, there we go, 11 inches. And as we move northward a bit, northeastward, Greensboro got 10.3 inches. Now Raleigh, on the other hand, 2.8 inches. They had a dry slot of air and it cut off some of that snowfall within the region. So they weren't able to experience the snow quite like we did. Of course, not everyone is a fan of snow, so I know some people may have been very excited, but for those snow lovers, you really wanted to be anywhere that was not Raleigh. And this is that low pressure system. So it's currently sitting off the coast, as you see there, and throughout the morning, it has just left the area. By the time we get to about 1 p.m., that's lunchtime, most of this snowfall, rainfall, everything, precipitation, has left the area, and then our big focus becomes those winds. You can see that wind movement from the northwest, and with that, that's why we're getting all of these colder temperatures. We're getting that polar Arctic air moving in, and that's sitting over everywhere in not only the Carolinas, but across the East Coast too. So here's our weather planner for today. One thing that I think is very obvious to notice is that feels like temperature. Still in the negatives around 11 a.m. And then we get single digits, and we stay in single digits as we head into the afternoon hours. So just make sure that you're bundling up, putting on those layers. If you are going outside, please refrain, limit your time. Anything from like hand warmers to keep your hands just very toasty would be very helpful, especially today, one of our coldest days. And then we drop back into the teens tonight, and that brings us to our 7-day. Look at that. We got another round of single digits on the way as we head into our morning commute for Monday. Still a chance for snow on the roads, especially because of these cold temperatures below freezing. So that snow you're seeing out there, once again, could get blown around a bit, especially as we continue to see the snow just sit there and not really melt because the temperature for our high today is so low in comparison to what it needs to be at 32 degrees to be able to get this snow to start melting. Anything above 32, that would be great if we wanted the snow to melt. So just take it slow on the roads out there. Even snow can do some damage. So yeah, take it slow, not only today, but into tomorrow if you are going to work. And also enjoy the cold weather and the snowfall. I know all that snow is so cool. And as we head into Monday, another just sunny day ahead. It's going to be great. The good thing about Monday is we don't have the winds ramping up as much. So luckily, these feels like temperatures will start to improve and feel a little bit closer to what the actual temperature is. Into Tuesday and Wednesday, chance for a burst of some snowfall as we head into the overnight hours, and then temperatures are warming up compared to what we're seeing today. So make sure to stay warm out there. I know it definitely is a chilly one for sure, and I hope you enjoy. Have a wonderful Sunday.